I'm John Tucci. Just want to wish everyone all the best. Everywhere I sing, it's for all of you. Love all of you dearly. Hope it's a great year for all of you. This is Colonial Sports Center. Have a wonderful day.
Who better to help cap off the semester than John Tucci? Certainly not that guy in the fur coat. But coming up on Colonial Sports Center, we've got a review of the football season, which was one for the ages. Shadrae King is in studio for a little bit of King's Corner to help us take a look.
Well, how about if we mix it up? How about that?
And Coach, we're going to mix it up, not with the guys in the green suits. Marty Galosi, we take a look at him. Some hockey from Consol as the Robert Morris Colonials took over. More football, some pushing and shoving, but don't get mad.
This isn't live, right?
Oh, it's live all right, Mr. Schaefer. Alex DeMichael's ready. Are you ready? Miles Russ is ready. Are you ready? Joe
You're
Walton.
welcome.
Thank you.
The end of the semester is here, and personally, I don't know where the time went. Chris Baginski here, as usual, alongside a moderately excited Brooks Bratton.
It's December, there's snow, only 23 days until Christmas.
Great, can't wait for the coal. Anyways, tonight we're taking a look back at the past semester and showing you what Brooksy, the producer, and yours truly thought were the best highlights of the best games that we've shown you here on Colonial Sports Center these past few weeks. Consider it a refresher course on the Colonial's best moments.
And speaking of the best moments, we've got tight end Shadrae King live in studio where he and I will discuss what was a football season that will go down in history here at RMU. But first, the Colonial Update. It was a close call for the Colonials volleyball team, but unfortunately for them, they will be leaving Sacred Heart University without a cigar. That's where the Northeast Conference Championship tournament was being held, and although the Colonials were able to defeat Long Island in a 5-set thriller, they were beaten in straight sets by the hosting Pioneers. Amanda Graham and Hannah Veith were both able to leave with a spot on the all-tournament team, which they'll be able to place next to their all-conference team honors.
Senior captain Amanda Graham was named to ESPN Academic All-America's second team in an announcement by the College Sports Information Directors of America. Graham becomes the first female student athlete in Robert Morris history to earn Academic All-America recognition and the 5th overall to receive the award. Graham is the second Robert Morris student athlete within a week to earn Academic All-American accolades, marking the first time in school history that 2 Colonial student athletes have earned this esteemed distinction in one academic year. Sophomore defensive lineman Nolan Nierhoff of the football team was honored with a spot on the second team.
Women's basketball had a tough go of things last week, falling twice to Akron and Duquesne, respectively. The ladies fell by a final of 88-60 to the Zips back on the 23rd, and then dropped their home opener to Duquesne over the weekend. 61-34 was the final in that contest. The women now hit the road over the next month and do not play again at the Chuck until January 15th against Monmouth.
It was a busy stretch for the men's basketball team. It started on the 19th of November when they defeated the crosstown rival Duquesne Dukes 69-63 at the Soul Center. Then the following Tuesday, they took on the number 5 team in the country, or number 4 depending on who you asked at the time, in the Pitt Panthers at the Peterson Event Center. That resulted in a 74-53 loss for the Colonials, but as is usually the case when they play Pitt, the Colonials gave them a bit of a scare, as they were within 5 points with just 10:53 remaining in the game. Earlier this week on Monday, the Colonials traveled to Cleveland State, where the hosts were able to escape with a 58-53 win en route to a school-best 8-0 start. The Colonials opened the conference season earlier tonight with a 70-69 win at Long Island this evening.
Men's hockey suffered their first regulation loss of the season 2 weekends ago at the Island Sports Center against Mercyhurst. The Colonials fell by a count of 3-1, with Brendan Jamison tying the lone marker. The team also lost the next night to Canisius in overtime by a 3-2 final. Captain Chris Krishnarik scored a minute into the game, and it would take the Colonials until there were only 2 minutes remaining in regulation to tie it up on a goal from Brandon Blandina before falling in the extra frame. With the 2 losses, the Colonials have fallen out of the national rankings, but they will have plenty of chances to redeem themselves in the near future.
The women's hockey team took on the #1 ranked Wisconsin Badgers twice 2 weekends ago, falling 7-1 each time. But the Colonials were able to take a point out of this past weekend series against Maine, losing the Friday game 4-2 and finishing the Saturday game tied 1-1. It was another milestone for Sarah O'Malley, who tallied her 44th career goal on Friday to become the program's all-time leading scorer. And I think it's about time for just a little bit of our personalities to shine through.
I agree. When we come back from the break, Chris and I will show you each our personal favorite highlight of the semester, as well as one that we both agreed was pretty good. Stick around.
Show with the ugly mic flag. When ugly reporters use our mic flag, they are beautiful. You, sir.
Yeah?
Would you consider yourself an ugly reporter?
Well, I wouldn't consider...
You're a very ugly reporter. Here, try this.
Okay.
Look, you're a beautiful reporter. CSC. Hooray, CSC.
Hooray, CSC.
Says the beautiful reporter.
Do you like this top? So gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
There is also a very attractive extended warranty option that includes free service and parts for the next 5 years. But there's no need for you to get that. You failed to get the test you needed at the doctor that would have detected disease early enough where it could have been treated. So you won't be around in 2 years to see him grow up, which means the warranty would be useless. Okay, sign here, please.
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Oh, look at that ball. Look at that ball. Green also tries to utilize the hill, but his rebound is just a little short. Indeed. We're going to say that Orange is probably the best shot so far on the hole. The shot for par just lips the hole so close. Quiet in the audience. Quiet, please.
Just wide.
Just a bit outside. It's a tight shot. But he'll just be able to tap it and get a 3, get a par.
Let's go back to September. The men's soccer team is looking shaky earlier in the year, starting out with a 4-game losing streak. Following the trip to Green Bay to play in an invitational tournament, the Colonials returned to the North Athletic Complex and hit their stride. So we'll go now to the North Athletic Complex. Familiar confines to the men's soccer team, we hear it is really putting Robert Morris University on the map to host the 2026 World Cup. But anyway, Michael Moran with a long goal kick. Liam Gilbert is on one bounce going to head that one to Carl Hayworth for the volley, 1-0 Niagara. Now, a great defensive play here by the captain, Neil Schaefer, and it's going to lead to a great offensive play. Taking the shot, scoring the goal. It is 1-1 after that. Now it's going to be a long free kick taken by the Purple Eagles, and it looks like it's in. However, one of the players, possibly more, but at least one, were offside, so no goal as the assistant referee's flag goes up. Now take a look at this. Jones throws into Bahari to Samuels, back to Bahari. Now Solis is going to get the ball. He's going to be onside. He's going to take a shot. Colonials will get a second chance at it, but it will eventually be cleared out of play. That's notable because all of those players that just touched the ball were all substitutes. Now let's go to overtime as we're still 1-1. Samuels is going to get the ball, and he is going to be obstructed and going to be fouled in the box. It's a penalty. And it's Neil Schaefer's goal. Cool as you like, just strokes it home. And that is the game that really turned the season around for the Colonials. 2-1, the final score. Now, despite winning their final game of their season against St. Francis of PA, the Colonials needed help to get into the conference tournament and unfortunately did not get it. But their record of 9-7-2, their best since 2006 when they played 2 additional games, is nothing to sneeze at.
Well, let's jump ahead to October now, and I simply couldn't pick anything other than hockey for my highlight of the semester. The Robert Morris men took on the Air Force Falcons in the College Hockey Showcase at the Consol Energy Center, and it was quite the captivator. So for a second look to Consol, we shall go. Falcons and Colonials from the beautiful new Consol Energy Center. Brooks Ostergaard and the troops getting ready for this one. Pick it up in the first period, and Air Force strikes first. Some offensive pressure, and Mike Walsh pinching in from the point. Nobody picks him up. He snipes past Ostergaard, makes it 1-0 Air Force, and they would not go away. Some added offensive pressure here as Jacques Lemereau, the captain, will come out of the corner. I love saying that name, Jacques Lemereau. The shot stopped by Ostergaard. George Michalki on the rebound. Bam, no problem for him. 2-0 Air Force, but the Colonials, with 1 second left in the period, cut the lead in half. Cody Crichton will send it out front. Jason Torf can't cover up, and Trevor Lewis bangs it in. 2-1 Colonials heading into the second, and check this out in the stands. Lady in the white sweater, I told you not to wear tie-dye. To the second period we shall go, and Colonials continuing the pressure here. Defenseman Andrew Blazek coming in. That shot is stopped, and then on the wraparound, oh, Torf getting that left pad out. Beautiful stop there. But the Colonials would get a power play here, and this is Denny Urban getting a second chance, looking for long prey, but it goes to Kushnerik, who taps it home, and just like that, we're tied at 2. Now on to the third period, and a shot here by a Falcon player, and we're going all the way up. The puck's, oh, it's up ice, and there's Nathan Longprey with a chance in, and he scores. Nathan Longprey makes it 3-2 RMU, and I tell you what, this is worth a second look, Chris, in my opinion. He's basically hog-tied here, but he's still got the shot off, gets it past Torf, but there's still 2 minutes left. The Colonials would have to kill the rest of the time. See, everybody's happy on the bench, but we still got 2 minutes, guys. And you know what? They would do just that. The centering pass for Air Force, nothing doing. The Colonials get the win. 3-2 the final, a great way to intro college hockey at the Consol Energy Center. Now the men return home this weekend for 2 games against Bentley on Friday and Saturday night. They'll also get a chance to skate at Consol once more over the break. The Colonials will take on RIT on December 30th as part of the events leading up to the NHL Winter Classic on New Year's Day.
Now, our last highlight was chosen by the producers here at Colonial Sports Center, and it's a tough one to lobby against.
The Colonials football team opened up the season against ranked opposition in the Liberty Flames. To call it a worthy home opener would be an understatement.
So, in the words of Warner Wolf, let's go to the videotape.
That we will to the videotape, Chris.
Yeah, and it's going to start pretty even. Liberty moving the ball right up the field there, but they would not get anything until 4th and 1, whenever they would get a fumble.
Well, see, Liberty's going to recover here, but it was 4th and 1, Chris, so they're still going to have to measure for the 4th down. The Zebras come out with the chains, and the defense holds the Liberty Flames there, and that would be a huge turning point.
And if we would have kept the ball, he would have had the first down, so that's a good tip for you kids at home. When you're playing football, you keep the ball. Miles Russ knows that, as he takes it to the outside and gets a first down, something that he is quite good at doing, Brooksy.
That he is, and then Sinclair over the middle here. He's going to find Jeff Link, who gets flipped up in the air, but no worse for the wear after that. Nice grab. And then later in the drive,
shades of John Elway in the Super Bowl with that tackle. But with a great catch, who is it but Jamie Cobb spreading that ball around, spreading the love, is Jeff Sinclair.
And now the final drive here, 45 seconds ago, 23-all, Shadrake King with the sweet grab over the middle.
And what comes from this? How about another sweet grab, this time off the left side, completing that one to TJ Green and setting up this play.
And then check this out, the C's part for Miles Russ, not even touched, into the end zone with 23 seconds left. The Colonials make it 30-23.
And here it is. This is what we call a Hail Mary. Prayer unanswered. Unless Michael Landers was praying, then he got it. What can I say?
The fans,
that is a 30-23 score. That is an upset.
And the fans rushing the field, and deservedly so, as that was one heck of a game and a great way to start out the homestand for Robert Morris.
Absolutely. And speaking of football, we will have a final word coming up this football season with a man who's given us a unique perspective of the NEC champion Robert Morris Colonials.
After the break, we'll check in with our good friend Shadrake King and get some thoughts from him to conclude the season.
You said you have a problem with Colonial Sports Center. What's the issue?
I do have a little bit of a beef with the Sports Center. It's not that I don't like the anchors that are on there right now, but if you check out the guy that does the sports on RMU Live Tuesdays at 5:30, he is 10 times better than these two chums that sit up here week after week and blah, 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 blah. I mean, Liam and Mario, come on, what is that? Put this kid that's on the news. He just started on Tuesday. He's 10 times better. He's flawless. He's got everything down pat. These two blowhards up here, I don't know what they're talking about. So check out RMU Live Tuesdays at 5:30 and check out the kid on the sports. Stick him on Colonial Sports Center. That's Thursdays at 9:30, and it's a win-win situation.
Takeout meals for just $12.99. Call now.
Sherry Pearson. You are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montonopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich! This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. Like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours? 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice? 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We're just about done for the semester here at CSC, but we can't begin unwrapping presents without
wrapping up the 2010 football season, a season to remember, to say the least. And joining me now for another installment of King's Corner, none other than Shadrake King. Shadrake, thanks so much for being here.
No problem.
Now, to wrap up the season, it was a heck of a season. I mean, you guys unfortunately did not get the results you were looking for up in North Dakota last weekend, but you have to be pleased with the campaign.
Oh yeah, I'm very proud of the guys, and proud of myself. That's one thing we worked on, in the off season, because last season we ended the season 5-6. So this season, was really focused on, working hard and trying to win that championship, which we did. And it's a great feeling to, work for something that you really want and actually get it.
And you mentioned the off-season. Talk about what the mentality was coming into the season, because as you mentioned, you finished the season 5-6, 6 wins to end. Were you guys expecting to be able to continue that this season, expecting to come in and carry on where you left off?
Yeah, I think we were. I mean, those last 5 wins last year, was kind of a jump start for us, and we in the off season we just focused on those 5 wins, and that kind of gave us our little jump start into the season that is this year.
And now we just saw the highlight from Liberty. What a way to start off the homestand. Talk about what that game meant to you guys as a team, and how nice it was to get a win like that against a team like Liberty.
Well, Liberty, which is a really good football team, it showed us what kind of team we are, and what kind of team we could be, and us winning that game showed us, it gave us that confidence, that we're able to, we can beat anybody. So, I mean, that game was real important to us, and we won it, and it gave us that confidence to win.
And after the game, Joe Walton was doused in the Gatorade. What did it mean for Coach Walton, for you guys to be able to? What was his mentality after that game, being able to get that?
I mean, he was just. I mean, ultimately, he was just very proud. He was just very proud of us. We took practice serious that week, and he said we can. He told us we can beat that team, and we just have to be focused and do what we have to do and finish. And that's what we did, and went on the board.
And now I got to talk about you for a little bit, because you had a fantastic season.
Oh, come on.
I got to mention it: 531 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. How were you able to take your game to the next level this season?
It was just last year, I got hurt a couple of times through a couple games. I didn't really get to finish the season like I wanted to. So, my focus this year was to, stay injury free, and, basically I, worked hard in the weight room, and, tried to, actually live with Jeff this summer. So, that's kind of how our connection got a little better on the field. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I tried to do to improve my game in the off season. So.
And then you mentioned Jeff, only a sophomore, had a fantastic season at quarterback. Talk a little bit about his play this season.
Oh, he's great. He's a great kid. He's gonna be really good. I mean, he's not gonna graduate with me, which is a little sad, but he's just really good. He focused this year on getting to his playbook, because freshman year he kind of got thrown in there into the fire, so he really had a lot to take on. But this year he kind of laid back and read the playbook, and he got his reads down, and he played pretty well. So.
And we can't talk about the season without mentioning Miles Russ.
Oh, of course not.
What is it that makes him, first off, such a great athlete?
He's hard. He's a hard worker. He's a hard worker. He works hard in the weight room. I mean, he doesn't speak much, but when he does, it's really important. He's just a really great guy, and he follows what his coaches tell him, and he follows. He helps his teammates out, and he's just an incredible athlete. I mean, you can't ask for much more. I mean, Miles Russ is a great running back. So.
And then able to pass up really his mentor and his coach, Coach Dorsett, during the season to become the all-time leading rusher at RMU. What did that mean to him, and how did it affect you guys as a team, having someone able to accomplish a feat like that?
Well, I mean, he broke the record, and I'm sure I really can't speak for a coach, but I'm pretty sure he was really proud. But I think we were all proud because it felt like we all did it, and that's one thing that Coach Walton wants us. We became a family in the locker room, and so I mean, if you become a family, and you'll block harder for that person because that's your brother, and So I mean, I'm pretty sure that Coach was pretty proud of him, but I think we all were proud of him. I mean, he's a great running back. He deserves it. So.
7-1 in the NEC this season. How were you guys able to overcome your opponent, almost every conference opponent you faced? Was there maybe one thing that you guys were able to do well throughout the conference that you were able to get a record like that?
Well, like I said before, one of the coaches, Coach Walton's big thing is finish. We have 2 finish signs in our locker room. And he tells us, the game will be determined on the first drive, the first offensive drive, the first defensive drive, and the first special teams drive. And that's how the game will be controlled. And our main focus is, to control all those 3 aspects and, eventually win the game. So, and finishing is just our main theme this season, is finishing. So.
And then the game against CCSU to finish off, to be able to clinch the playoff spot, to clinch a share of the NEC. I mean, a couple weeks ago when we saw the highlight, you and I were talking and watching the highlight, and at the end, when they show the fans running out on the field and the flags in the wind, and you guys are all jumping around and the fans are jumping around, and you said you were speechless with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling to actually have, you know, the entire school, you know, behind you. You know, it feels really good to actually, you know, actually work for something and actually getting it. It just, you know, I still can't believe, you know, we won it and everything like that, but it's just a great feeling.
And I know you've got a Whipfield title, but how high up does that rank in your football career and things you've been able to accomplish so far?
Oh yeah, well, this ring, you know, it was my sophomore year, so I really didn't get to play that much. But you know, this year, I felt like I earned this championship because I was part of it the majority of the time. So I mean, this winning the championship was probably one of the greatest moments in my career playing football. So, you know, I'm just pretty proud of, you know, the fellas and myself.
And your offensive lineman Carlos Andrade actually capped that game off with a proposal. Did you guys know that was going to happen?
He told us it was going to happen. Like when we were about to do the victory, he was like, "I'm going to propose to my girlfriend, so you know, everybody be quiet whenever the game's over." And so, I mean, at first I didn't think he was really going to do it, and then he actually did it. So I was pretty happy for him. So.
And then to be able to see your head coach, Joe Walton, he's worked so hard to build this program up, the only head coach in its history, and there's been success in the past, but it's been a couple years since he's been able to enjoy something like this. How happy were you guys for him at that moment?
I was really happy for Coach because, you know, me being here as a freshman, I mean, any player here, you know, you guys want to win. You guys want to, you know, be that team. And you know, that's the main thing we focused on is, you know, being that team and representing, you know, Robert Morris and representing Coach Walton as a whole and as a family. So, and I feel pretty good, and we felt pretty good that, you know, we did that for him. And, you know, he got Coach of the Year. He really doesn't say much about it, but, you know, we let it known in one of our meetings that, you know, congratulations. So. Was there,
I may be asking the obvious question here, but was there a high point or one moment that sticks out to you from the season?
Probably the one thing that sticks out to me the most is, you know, us doing the victory at CCSU, actually winning, you know, the championship, because we worked so hard in the off season doing morning running and lifting, and you know, we had a good spring camp. We worked so hard, and you know, it's good that it paid off, and you know, it just felt pretty good.
Now, have you guys began to think about next season? I mean, obviously, last weekend came up short in the playoffs. Are you just taking some time off now, or are you thinking about moving forward at all?
Well, you know, it hurt, you know, in the playoffs, and you know, I mean, the thing that we want to focus on is us getting back there again. And this time, you know, doing the necessary steps to get to the next game. You know, our coach he's really proud of us. He told us we didn't have nothing to be ashamed of. And, you know, we were the first team, you know, to go to the playoffs, and we made history. And he told us that, you know, we should be proud of that. And, you know, our next focus should be, you know, not getting into the playoffs, but actually getting to the playoffs and winning the next game. So.
Well, Chaudre, it was a heck of a season. You played a big part of it. Everyone on the team played a big part in it. And I want to thank you for coming on for 3 installments of King's Corner. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us and take a look at the season. It was a fantastic ride, and we certainly enjoyed it, so thank you for doing it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, guys, coming up, we've saved the best for last. It's our gift to you. The top plays of the 2010 fall semester in Robert Morris Colonial Athletics are just ahead, so grab yourself some Chex Mix and come right back.
CSC, we're the sports show with the ugly mic flag. When ugly reporters use our mic flag, they're beautiful. You, sir. Yeah? Would you consider yourself an ugly reporter? Well, I wouldn't consider... You're a very ugly reporter. Here. Try this. Okay. Look, you're a beautiful reporter. CSC! Hooray, CSC!
Hooray, CSC!
Says the beautiful reporter.
Do you like this top? So gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
There is also a very attractive extended warranty option that includes free service and parts for the next 5 years. But there's no need for you to get that. You failed to get the test you needed at the doctor that would have detected disease early enough where it could have been treated. So you won't be around in 2 years to see him grow up, which means the warranty would be useless. Okay, sign here, please.
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Oh, look at that ball. Look at that ball. Green also tries to utilize the hill, but his rebound is just a little short. Indeed. We're going to say that orange is probably the best shot so far on the hole. The shot for par just lips the hole so close. Quiet in the audience. Quiet, please.
Just wide.
Just a bit outside. It's a tight shot. But he'll just be able to tap it and get a three, get a par.
It's the best of the fall 2010 semester showstoppers. We've got 10, and I'll start with number 10. Some early season basketball. Colonials at Kent State at 8 in the morning on ESPN. Karan Abraham can't get the layup to go, but Russell Johnson will get the slam to go.
Number 9, Rico Fata, and we will be on the rink here. Long Prey with a great pass to the slot, and Denny Urban getting it in. Part of the Colonials' winning effort against Sacred Heart.
Number 8, Mark Recchi to the pitch. Daniel Calabretta in front to Prince Samuels all the way from Jamaica, who had himself one heck of a freshman season. Prince was flying.
And of course provided us with plenty of Prince references that we can use. Colonials against the Albany Great Danes. This was a bit of a rout, and that was a bit of a good catch. In fact, I'd say that's a little bit worthy of a second look. I like the word bit. Here is Sinclair over the middle, and there it is. What a grab and what a victory. It was a shutout, 38-0 to the Colonials.
Number 6, Richard Littner. This is Neil Schaefer in overtime on penalty kicks. Bang, tickles the twine, back of the net. The Colonials get the win, and we'll have more on Neil in just a little bit on his illustrious career.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Number 5, the active boards of the Consol Energy Center. Also, Nathan Longpre picking the puck up and scoring. Look at that. This is definitely worthy of the second look because we need to break this play down. He'll celebrate because, you know, that's what you do in that situation. Then he's able to ward off some backside pressure. Looked like a bit of a shove. He goes into the net, but more importantly, so does the puck.
Looked like a hold to me, Chris. Perhaps a free hand there. I mean, my goodness. Celebrating on the bench. Number 4, Bobby Orr in the fourth quarter with 4 seconds left. This is Liberty's last chance. They heave up a prayer. Their prayers are not answered on this day. Michael Landers with the interception in the end zone. The Colonials with the upset of the 14-15 ranked Liberty Flames at the time. And look at all the fans running out onto the field.
Looks like the entire population of Qatar out there on the field. So let's go now to number 3. You know, he's a friend of the show, and he's also a fantastic soccer player and human being. Neil Schaefer, the captain of the men's soccer team. He saw plenty of playing time through all his years here. There you can see him with head coach Bill Deniston. And you're also going to see a rare sight. That's him sitting on the bench.
Something he did not do a lot of during his career. This guy didn't sit on the bench much either. Miles Russ with a fantastic senior season. Finished with over 1,300 rushing yards, NEC honor week after week. but on this play, he becomes the all-time leading rusher in Robert Morris history. He finished with over 4,000 yards for his career. Miles Russ, a fantastic cap on a fantastic career, possibly the greatest Colonial running back ever.
And against the Duke came Dukes to boot. Number 1, why is this team so happy? Because they just won the Northeast Conference Championship against the Blue Devils of Central Connecticut State at Joe Walton Stadium. The stadium's namesake there on the left with the trophy, and the Colonials football team with the number 1 spot on the Showstoppers.
Colonial Sports Center is not only on your television set, it's also on the World Wide Web. You can watch CSC anytime by becoming a fan on Facebook or by following us on Twitter at username RMU-CSC.
And check out Campus Stories on alternating Fridays, as Brooks Bratton has the distinct pleasure to sit down and speak with RMU's best and brightest.
And as a show of thanks from the football team, head coach Joe Walton wrote a letter addressed to all of those who have supported the team throughout the season, and here's what he said.
He has said, "Dear friends, I wish to express my sincere thanks to the entire Robert Morris community for all the great support we received during our drive for the NEC Championship.
Learning is a good process that must be continued throughout your life. Robert Morris has taught my players many ways to learn through athletics, in the classroom, and through their many new relationships. The support you gave to our team will be etched into their minds and hearts forever."
This thank you note from the whole coaching staff and players comes from our hearts. The RMU community deserves our applause.
And we'd like to thank the RMU Athletic Department, Marty Galosi, and all of the players and coaches for their cooperation, as well as Joe Hale and Ray Zapparoni here at the Academic Media Center. Without all of their assistance, the show would not be possible.
That's all for this semester. We hope you get through finals week with a minimum of stress and have a delightful holiday season. For Shadre King and the rest of us here at Colonial Sports Center, as well as Brooks Bratton. Brooks, it's been an honor.
It's been a pleasure to be on the desk with you for a full semester, and we're looking forward to doing it again.
That we are. Anyway, as you probably know by now, I'm Chris Baginski, so we will leave you with one last look at the highly successful football season and their trip into the playoffs against North Dakota State. Happy holidays.
Take care, everyone.
Get to the next game. All right? One more time. Viva! Hey, stay here. Okay, we're in a tough situation here. We're a long way from home. We don't have anybody but ourselves. Anybody but ourselves. But we've been by ourselves all season. Okay? This is all our family right here. Everybody that's in this locker room is our family. I'm going to tell you something. The team that plays with enthusiasm and emotion will win this game. And don't forget, the first kickoff, the first offensive play, and the first defensive play. That's where it turns. Let's go!
still want to be great. You see that? We make that play. They don't. We want to be great. You got it.
This game. Yes, sir. It's 7-6. We got 30 minutes left. And you've proved you can play with them. Now, are we going to be physical, emotional, and work our ass off this second half? Yes, sir. You got a chance to beat them then. Go out and do it. Go! Go!
The preceding program has been a production of RMU-TV and the Academic Media Center at Robert Morris University.